So today I'm going to talk about 30 things that you can do to start saving money right now. So if you haven't seen any of my videos before, my name's Sabrina and this channel is called Riches of Knowledge, and I like to post videos on finance, personal finance, family finance, tips on how to save money, make money and manage your money better. So if you like this video and want to see more, I'd love to have you be a subscriber on this channel, and that way I can keep you posted on what videos I come up with next. You can also hit the thumbs up button and comment and share on all the social media platforms if you want to. Okay, let me get on with the 30 things that you can do right now to save money. Okay, so the first thing you can do is shop your kitchen before you actually go out grocery shopping. So have a look in your cupboards and your fridge and your freezer to see what you have there, and you'll be surprised how much you've actually got, and then you can go out shopping to see what else you need. And a lot of the times you have enough to actually make even a week's worth of meals. So number 2 is of course, following on from that point, is meal plan. When you meal plan before you go shopping, you actually know exactly what you need for your week or for your month, however often you do your shopping. It's a really useful tool because you just get more organized and you know what you need and you know what you have. Number 3 is compare the price of items between different supermarkets. Now, I use an app called My Supermarket. You can also, I think they also have a website, but all the resources that I mentioned, I'll link them down below and you can access them. But My Supermarket, you enter whatever product it is that you want, and then it will tell you how much it is in all the local supermarkets. And what's also useful is in the app you can make your list. On the list you've actually saved where you want to buy a certain product from, because that is the cheapest place to get it from. So I love that about it. And then when I'm out shopping, I open up my app, and if I'm in Asda's and there's a few things I need to get from Asda's because that's where they're the cheapest, I just open my list and I click on I look under the Asda section, and I know exactly what I need to get from that supermarket, and then I move on to the next one and I know what I need to get from that. Number 4 is start couponing. Sites like Super Savvy Me or Money Saving Expert, they'll have a lot of vouchers that you can print off, or even voucher codes that you can use online that will give you money off of the products that you usually buy, or even if you don't usually buy them, alternatives to products that you would buy. And if you're getting money off and they're going to be cheaper than what you would spend anyway, then why not? Number 5, use cashback websites. So websites like Top Cashback or Quidco. You basically go to the website, and then let's say you want to shop from M&S or whatever, or even a supermarket. There's certain retailers that they will collaborate with, and whatever you buy from there, you'll get a certain percentage back. What it's really good for is like big spends. For example, if you're getting your car insurance or life insurance or home insurance, they tend to have really good cashback rates. Number 6 is use apps like Checkout Smart. So this is a bit like couponing, but with couponing you have to print off the coupons or get voucher codes or something like that. But with the app that I use is Checkout Smart. There's another app called Shopitize, and I think Quidco has something similar to it as well. But what it is that I go on the app every day and I check out certain offers, and what you do is let's say a certain brand will have an offer. This item is completely free if you buy it from Tesco or Asda or whatever supermarket that the offer relates to. So you go out and buy the item, and then you scan the receipt to show that you've purchased the item, and then it will give, if it says it's free, it will give you the complete purchase price back, so you got the item for free. Or sometimes it will say you know you get £1 back, or you get 50p back or whatever, but it's through the app, so it's nothing you have to print off, which I really love. Again, I'll link everything down below. I also have a video on how I get free groceries regularly using this app. Number 7 is make your own cleaning products. Cleaning products are some of the things out there on the market that retailers or manufacturers try to make a ton of money on, and actually sometimes all you need is just natural ingredients. So I just use water and vinegar for a lot of things. And you'll see tons of videos out there on make your own cleaning products, which is really handy and it works. Number 8 is a massive one. Those of us who work, getting lunches is so expensive during the day, and I would suggest pack your own lunches. Okay, right now I'm on maternity leave, but I make lunches for my partner that cost less than £1 a day, including the drink that he carries with him as well. Whereas if he wasn't packing his lunches, I think he was spending at one time about £7 to £10 per day. So spending 50 quid a week, and he's, you know, spending 10% of that at the moment for £5. Number 9, if you have kids and you're a couple, consider one of you quitting your job, because childcare is so expensive in London. We used to pay more than £1,000 a month in childcare expenses, and we realized at a point in time when we reviewed all our, you know, incomings and outgoings, that actually we can't afford to get childcare. We were actually in the minus, so there was no point for the second person going to work because all that money was going to childcare. It just did not make sense. So consider either one of you quitting your job or changing your work patterns so that, you know, there's always one of you at home to take care of the kids. That might be really good. Even though you may have to take a pay cut, it may work out that you're actually better off by just changing your work pattern or going for a less paid job, which means that you might be working evenings or nights or weekends. Because you're not paying for childcare, it may work out that you're better off. Number 10 is also to do with childcare again. If you're not taking advantage of childcare vouchers, if your employer takes part in that scheme, I think some employers may still offer it, but I think it's been replaced by another scheme. But if your employer still offers it, you get 32%. So basically you don't pay tax on that portion of your wage. 12% national insurance and 20% PAYE. Each of you can claim up to £243 a month. If you're a couple, you can claim £486 worth. You save 32%. There's a new scheme out called the tax-free childcare scheme. I will link that down below. There's a special gov.uk website that you have to go to register for this, but with this you pay 80% and the government pays 20% of the cost. So this has no limit, whereas the previous one had a limit of £243 a month. Number 11 is stop wasting food. A lot of us buy excessive food and then throw it away, or we'll have leftovers at dinner. What I do is if I've got a plate of dinner and I haven't finished my plate of dinner, my leftovers on my plate, I will save them and I'll eat them the next day or for the next meal or whatever. And that saves a lot of money because that means you don't have to make a whole fresh meal for the next time that you eat. And I do the same for my kids. My kids are constantly leaving food on their plates. Wrap the plate up in cling film or put it in a container and put it in the fridge. Number 12 is get a more fuel efficient car. Give you an example. We have a BMW right now, which, you know, my partner loves BMWs and it's the type of cars that he's always into, and we bought it about 4 or 5 years ago. However, we're finding that it's not very good on fuel, so we've been looking at other cars and all that recently, and we found that the Citroen C4 is something that we might go for. The difference we're looking at right now, we're spending about £50 to £70 a week on the BMW, and with the Citroen C4, from talking to a few people, it looks like we may just spend about £30 a week, so half the amount. Number 13, think about sharing your space. So if you own a home and you've got a spare room, or even if you haven't got a spare room, get a lodger. We only have 2 bedrooms, and there was a point in time when we actually had a lodger for 6 months and we had 2 kids. I know it's not ideal for a lot of people, but if you need to get rid of some debt, or if you want to save towards something, it's a really good idea. If you don't own a home and let's say you're renting a flat, consider just doing a flat share. Number 14, stop buying things that you don't need. So by this I mean stop just shopping for clothes when you don't need to. Try living without branded products, and I'll give you an example. It's not just clothes or things like that, or like makeup, branded makeups and stuff like that. I mean things like, we thought we could never live without Heinz ketchup. We thought we could never live without Hovis or Kingsmill bread because that's the only bread that we used to buy. We thought we could never live without Heinz baked beans. But actually, trying out the other brands, and what I did the other day actually, I bought Tesco ketchup and I saved the Heinz tomato ketchup bottle. I squeezed all the Tesco ketchup into the Heinz bottle and I gave it to my kids and my partner, and none of them noticed. We buy a Tesco loaf of bread that costs us 50p instead of £1. If we get Hovis loaf of bread, you know, it saves us 40-50p per loaf, but over the year it adds up. Number 15, okay, your phone. If you're used to upgrading your phone, the odds are that you haven't really thought about what you're actually doing, but I just started thinking about it this year. We kind of upgrade our phone every time the contract runs out. We don't upgrade our phone every year or every time a new phone comes out, but when a contract runs out, we upgrade our phone. But actually, why do I need to do that? If my phone is in perfect working order, I am going to get a SIM-only contract and keep going with that until my phone breaks. And when my phone breaks, I'm going to buy a cheap phone, and you know, I'm just going to carry on with a SIM-only contract because they tend to be so much cheaper because you're not paying for the phone part of it as well. Number 18, quit bad habits. If you're a smoker and a drinker, just I mean, not alcoholic, but I mean like if you're used to having a glass of wine every evening or whatever, quit it or reduce it. If you're a smoker, think of quit smoking because it costs you, I don't know how much cigarettes cost, but ever since my partner quit smoking, we've noticed a huge difference in how much money goes out, because we realized when we were working out how much he used to spend on it, it was a huge amount on cigarettes that he was spending. Point number 19 is switch from juices to just plain water. When we used to buy juices with our grocery shop, my children used to drink excessively and they used to only drink juice. They didn't used to drink water, and even I was guilty of just drinking juice and not water. But if you compare the price of juice and water, it's just, you know, you get a carton, 1 litre carton of juice for like not less than £1, £1.50, but I get a 2 litre bottle of water for 17p. I get 10 bottles of water for £1.70 for the price of a 1 litre juice drink. Think about that. That is a lot of money. And juice is kind of bad for you sometimes because a lot of added sugars and preservatives and all this kind of stuff. So we just get water. We spend, let's say, £2 a week on 12-14 bottles of water, and that does us very good. And my children are healthy, they have good teeth, they don't have sugar passing through their mouth all the time. So I am grateful for that. Number 20 is review all your automated bank transactions, so direct debits and reoccurring card transactions. For example, we have a credit expert account. Well, we had a credit expert account, and the reason we got it in the first place is to check our credit scores and to see what was in our credit files and our credit history and all that kind of stuff. And at the time that we both got the credit expert account, is because we were going through the process of, you know, trying to get lines of credit. So at that point it was good because we needed to know where we were at. But now that we're trying to save and eliminate debt, we don't really need that, because I'm not trying to take out any more debt at the moment. I just remembered the other day that I'm actually paying this £14.99 a month. So reviewing your transactions that are automated, because we tend to forget about them, especially if we don't look at our statements regularly, is very important, because then there'll be areas that you can save on. All you need to do is cancel that direct debit or call up that company and say, can you cancel my subscription? And that will be stopped. Or sometimes you can just call your bank and they can do it for you. Number 21, sell your unwanted items. Whatever it is that you want to get rid of from your house, sell it. There's an app called Spock, and it basically, you list the item, it's completely free. People in your area will see the ads and they'll contact you if they want to get the item. You meet them and they pay cash for it, so it's completely free. You can also list your items on free websites like Gumtree or Craigslist, I believe. Number 22, this is one thing I don't do because I can't, is ride a bike everywhere. I can't ride a bike and I have 3 children to take everywhere with me every time I need to go out. So it's one thing I don't do. But if you're a single person, or if you're a couple, or if you only have 1 child, you can ride a bike wherever you go. All you have to do is invest in the bike, and first place, which should cost you less than £100 if you get a second-hand bike or just a normal basic bike, and just go everywhere with that bike, you know, locally. If you need to make longer journeys, then of course use public transport or use your car or whatever, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to use a bike. Number 23, put money in a savings account. So if you are saving money already, or the reason why you're watching this video is because you want to be able to save more money or start saving money, the money that you're saving, put it in a savings account so it can earn that little bit of interest. I know interest rates in this country are not good at the moment. I mean, you get 0.0 something per annum, but every little helps. You also have cash ISAs or investment ISAs, so whatever interest you earn from that, it's completely tax-free. Go to websites like Money Saving Expert. It tends to list and compare the best savings account out there in the market depending on your needs. So definitely get a savings account. Don't just leave it in your current account. Plus, if you leave it in your current account, you get tempted to spend it. And number 24 is cut down on going out. So if you are a person that like socializing, going out to clubs or bars or events and all that, and it's costing you money, just cut down a bit. We don't really spend money on going out every weekend, but I know people that do, so just cut down on that. Every time you go out, how much you spend? 50 quid, 100 quid, you know, it's a lot of money. Even if you spend 20, 10, I mean, how much is a drink? 3-4 quid now in London for one drink, and you're not gonna have one drink for that evening when you go out. So just cut down a bit on that and see how much money you save. Number 25, you can switch energy providers and save money. So just find out what other energy providers there are out there. You have websites like USwitch where you can have a look at how much you could save. I know people are kind of reluctant to switch energy providers, especially if they've been with someone for so long, but it's something that's worth doing, because then you're not kind of being exploited for being loyal. Sometimes, you know, these companies do exploit you for being loyal because they know you won't leave them. Number 26, consider switching communication providers. So another, you know, for example, your mobile phone service provider, your TV and broadband provider, consider switching, you know. And sometimes when you tell them that you're switching, they all of a sudden manage to get you a cheaper deal. So you might not even have to move, but try and make that first step of informing them that you want to switch and see if they have a better deal for you. And if they say they don't, or even if they say they do, shop around. Number 27, buy in bulk. So if you find that you go through 2 or 3 2-pint bottles of milk a week, why not get a 6-pint bottle and you have that cheaper? If there's a buy one get one free in a supermarket for bread, and you're going through a couple of loaves a week anyway, get a buy one get one free offer, freeze the bread, you know, it work out cheaper that way. So number 28 is freeze food. A lot of things can be frozen, okay? So berries can be frozen, meat can be frozen, chicken, meat, and often when you buy it in bulk, if you go to like butchers, you get meat and chicken really cheap. Milk can be frozen, bread can be frozen. Number 29 is beauty treatment. Just do your own beauty treatments. Do your own eyebrows. I'm not very good at doing my eyebrows, as you can see they're a bit lopsided, but do your own eyebrows, do your own nails. Last but not least, number 30 is reuse and recycle things. So I'll give you an example of a few things that I reuse and recycle. So one of the things is like you know, like rags and dust cloths and all that. A lot of people, when cloths aren't fresh anymore and they look dirty, they chuck them in the bin and buy a new cloth. I put them in a washing machine with a bit of bleach, a bit of fairy liquid, and a disinfectant called Zoflora, which makes the cloth smell really nice. I put it on a really hot 90-degree wash. As soon as it comes out, yes, it doesn't look brand new, but it smells as fresh as ever. So that's one of the things I do. And the other thing is, come on, you should know this, your mom or your grandma probably did this, reuse tea bags, just reuse them, come on. I drain that tea bag out until there's nothing left in it, no juice or no flavor left in it at all. And one other thing I reuse and recycle is gift bags. So if anyone gives me a gift in a gift bag, I just recycle that. It looks like I went and got change for this part of the video, but actually I couldn't finish the recording on that day. I have 3 kids, and the reason why I'm rocking is I've got this one on my just on my arm, so you know, he's needs a bit of attention. But I hope that you have enjoyed and got some useful tips out of my 30 ways to start saving right now. If you have found it useful, please comment if there's some things that you didn't know about, or if there's some things that you do already, or some things that aren't on the list. Then I'd love to know, because I want to I don't think I know everything, so I would love to know what you do differently, or what you would add on to that list. Of course, like the video, share it, and subscribe.